Resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Today I want to ask you a question, my friend. Are you hiding out, bunkering down, or are you actually rising up to the challenge that this crisis is presenting to all of us as artists? And my friend, today, just like you, I'm stuck at home. This is for me like week number 3 of lockdown, and just trying to get used to figure this whole thing out. Figuring out when is Monday, when is Tuesday, when is Wednesday, and so on. Just like you, I've been doing a series of videos interviewing artists from around the world, so hope you check that out. Figuring out how everybody is managing right now this pandemic as we are, as artists, stuck at home. And my friend, one of the things that I've really been thinking about as I've been talking to artists and also to gallery owners and curators from around the world is this idea of how is the art world going to look like after this whole thing is over? Because there's one thing that's for sure. It's not like, okay, May 1st, now pandemic is over, everybody goes back to work and galleries just open the doors and we all have big shows again and big openings. It's not gonna be like that. That's the one thing that everyone around the world understands this in the art world, that things will not just look the same right away after this whole thing is over. At least not from one day to the next, everything goes back to business. One of the big reasons, my friends, is because, a lot of galleries right now may not survive, being closed for 2-3 months. Many of them are already cutting their budgets. They're already letting a lot of people go. Many of them are transitioning from an actual space to a virtual space. Museums and institutions are already cut in their budgets for the year. Their exhibitions are all screwed up because of the schedule. And that is actually what's happening to me, right? As a curator, I have, my shows planned a year in advance or 2, depends on some of them. So right now, everything's in limbo. We don't know when we're gonna be back up to regular scheduling exhibitions. Some shows will be canceled altogether. Some shows will be pushed back, depends on the complexity of the show, budgets and things of that nature. So a lot of things are in the air. And this idea that, okay, the pandemic is over, everybody goes back to work, and we as artists go back to work as usual, is not really a reality anymore. Maybe it was at the beginning when we look at this, how it was coming, but now as we are right in the middle of it, now we know that it's going to be a long transition. So at the same time, I'm positive. I like to think, with positive mindset. I like to think of struggles and problems as looking for solutions, looking for ways out, looking for ways to navigate the situation so that we position ourselves in the best place to succeed and navigate this wave and succeed as we get out of it. And I think as more as I plan this, as more as I look at this, as I look at my life as an artist, curator, and gallery owner, and also as I talk to more artists and curators and galleries around the world, I think there are rough weeks and months ahead for all of us, but at the same time there are great opportunities for all of us. And my friends, so if you're an artist watching this right now, or a creative in some way, this is the time for you to really, instead of bunkering down in your studio and closing the door and forget about the world, which again is an option, or you can do that for a few days if you need to. But it's also an opportunity for us to rise up, to rise up to the challenge and to think about, as an artist myself, how is my role as an artist in the world has changed? Because for everybody who has, a job of any kind or whatever activity you do, your job description has changed, including us artists. It has changed. This idea that we're just gonna get out of this, we're gonna go back to our galleries, and our galleries gonna, it's not going to be as easy and as smooth as it sounds, right? Many of those galleries, unfortunately, will be gone, and some of them are already closed for good. So as artists, we need to step up to the challenge. If you have never really been serious about mastering Instagram or your social media, this is the time to do it. If you have never been serious about really taking control of your art career, this is the time to do it. If you have never been good at communicating with your galleries and where your curators that you work with, this is the time to do it, right? You gotta step up to the challenge. And I think as us artists, as we do that, we will position ourselves in a better place. So when this is over, first of all, of course, your health. Watch and protect your health. Stay home. Follow the instructions and directions you're given, wherever you are in the world, so that we can also help others be healthy and stay safe, right? And as we do that, as we stay home and as we try to keep up with, being informed and doing our part to prevent also the spread to others, also at the same time positioning ourselves in a way that we can succeed. We can first navigate this as we go through it together as a community, and then succeed afterwards as well as we put things in order in our art career. And one of the things that I'm totally changing, for example, which is everything, right? Changing the way I run my business, my art career, the way I work with the gallery. We're doing a lot of things more now virtually as well. I'm really rethinking a lot of the curatorial projects that I have ahead of me, how we're going to be doing those. And one of the things that also I've been totally redesigning is the next challenge, because as you know, or maybe you don't know, but in the Art Next Level Academy, which is where I coach and help artists from around the world, to navigate their art careers and to succeed in their art career. The next challenge that we have, because we just finished one challenge, the Business Growth Challenge, which was awesome, super cool. Now the next challenge is called From Your Studio to the World. So I'm totally redesigning that, completely revamping it, giving it a whole fresh, kind of a strategy, because the world has changed and the world will continue to change as we move forward. So I didn't want to do a challenge that was based on norms and principles that were good 6 months ago. 6 months ago, it was a whole different world. Today, the world is totally different. So I have redesigned the challenge completely. It's a 10-week challenge that's called From Your Studio to the World. And I'm going to run you through it really quickly. On week 1 of the challenge, Dr. Yanina Gomez is going to talk about building self-confidence in a changing world. How do we stay positive, have confidence in a world that continues to change before our eyes? Week number 2, I'm going to talk about brand self-assessment, looking at what differentiates you right now from every other artist in the world, right? As you put yourself out there, looking at some strategies that will help you, put yourself in a way that people see you and they remember you, right? Remember what I've said many times, be seen to be remembered. Very important phrase. Week number 3, I'm going to talk about identifying your social media advantage, what you're really good at, and then really magnifying what you're good at in the way you talk about your art, the way you position yourself out there, so that you position yourself in a better place. Week number 4, I'm going to talk about Instagram. It's going to be all about Instagram hacks, what's working right now, because what used to work 6 months ago may not be working anymore. What are the new things that you should be doing right now on Instagram to really help you move forward. Week number 5, we're going to talk about Patreon and crowdfunding. This is going to be a lifesaver for many of you when it comes to your finances. Patreon, starting a Patreon site page that makes sense, that works. Crowdfunding, whole lot of different ideas, again, are specific to what we're going through right now, not what used to work 6 months, 1 year ago, because all that thing, it's over. It's a whole new world. Week number 6, we're going to talk about sponsorships and bringing supporters to your art career, which again may be a lifesaver for many of you as we go through this. Week number 7, we're going to talk about secrets of writing proposals, because again, budgets have shrunk. The way the art world is moving is also changing. So how do you write a proposal that makes sense now, right? That makes sense right now, not only for exhibitions, but for project ideas that you may have for your own projects. Week number 8, we're going to talk about how to get press the right way. And I believe that if you do this right, you can get a lot of press once this whole thing is over, if you know how to tell your story or how you survive as an artist. So I'm going to teach you how to write press releases that work. And actually, in my Small Works Artists Challenge, I taught artists how to do press releases, and many of them got featured on TV, on magazines, and so on. So I'm super excited about this particular one, because this situation actually presents a lot of opportunities to get great press as artists. Week number 9, I'm going to talk about how to approach galleries, museums, and institutions in a world that's changing, again, where budgets are much smaller. How do we do that? And week number 10 is how to work with our consultants, designers, and art fairs. Again, a whole new approach, whole new look at that as we change. And I'm gonna bring also a special guest throughout the challenge to help us also understand some of these topics much better. So if you're interested on the 10-week From Your Studio to the World challenge that I start April 6th, all you gotta do, my friend, is just go to this website, which is www.theartistnextlevel.com/studio. If you're on Instagram, just go to my profile link. You will also find a link to it. But again, if you are listening to this through the podcast, go to www.theartistnextlevel.com/studio. And the challenge begins April 6th. You will get all the details there. Hope to see you there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super cool. And you don't want to miss it. Again, it will help you navigate what's happening right now and help you position yourself in the best way when this thing is over, as the world has changed. Because new world requires new way of thinking, new way of looking, new strategies. What used to work 6 months ago is no longer going to work for you. And enjoy some of this beautiful sunshine. Have a great day.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.